I'm Sheriff Joe Lapinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Yo, man, it's Fred. Listen, don't forget to like and subscribe to our New Orleans Talk Network page on. Keep going. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Fred. Listen, don't forget to like our page on YouTube, FanView, Facebook, FanView, and on Twitter, FanView New Orleans.
Holla at you, man, interact with us, and we gonna make this thing on the top of New Orleans Talk Network. With real fans talk about real sports. And not only sports, everyday activity and life, man.
My name is Jaquan Jackson, SMU commit, and you're tuning into FanView.
Yo, what's up? It's Poogle Williams, 2017 Mr. Football. You are now tuned into FanView Live on New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Congressman Cedric Richmond, and you're watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
FanView Live, where real fans talk about real sports, only on the New Orleans Talk Network. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, because we're not just a sports talk show, we're a talk show about sports.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe.
Do a recall, and they was, that shit was fucked up, son. I don't want to be there this morning.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports on New Orleans Talk Network. Listen, I'm your boy Fred.
Coach Hurricane here, GSportz in the building, man.
Man, listen, we got an impact show for you guys. Listen, we've been having a lot of news breaking today around here in Louisiana high school. But we got a lot to talk about. Tonight in sports. Before I get ready to start this show, y'all know what I like to do. I always give a shout out and salute to the armed forces and our military. Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, first responders, local police department, local fire department. Thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. We can't thank y'all enough. Big shout out and salutes to y'all and the armed forces. We can't appreciate y'all enough for the services that y'all do. We got a lot to talk about tonight. In the second half of our show, we'll be getting into a lot of NFL talk, college football talk. But right now, we're going to open this show up with the decision of the LHSAA. People who do not know have been following us on Twitter. If you follow us on Twitter, we're at FanView NOLA. If you follow us on Instagram, we're at FanView Live. You can follow us on Facebook, FanView Live.
Twitter?
Yeah, on Twitter, FanView NOLA. We're going to get into people's comments. You know, the big decision that just came out today, D-Hahnville quarterback, A.Robison, was this ruled ineligible. They upheld eligibility for him to play quarterback. Transfer him over from Vanderbilt Catholic. Been a lot of talk about this decision. Came out maybe a few hours ago.
I came out, I think, about 10, 11 o'clock this morning. Yeah.
10, 11 o'clock today. And there's been a lot of discussion going on with this decision. He was ruled ineligible maybe a few weeks back. They had the appeal process. Today the appeal came to a unanimous decision of him being ruled ineligible to play football for Hahnville High School. A lot of commotion. We're going to have his dad, A.Robison, going to be giving us a call. He has some things that he wants to say. When people have been looking forward to the clock, it's about that time. He'll be giving us a call shortly to discuss, how he feels about the decision of his son being ruled ineligible for Hahnville.
Right on cue.
Right on cue.
Coach Drew is online. Coach Drew, you there?
Coach Drew.
Producer, turn the volume up for us. Coach Drew.
Yeah. Hello.
Coach Drew?
Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? Hello.
I think we're having a little technical difficulties.
Hello, can you hear me?
Well, why the producers is trying to get Coach Drew back on the line, man. I just got this to say about Louisiana High School Football Athletic Association. You're all the way down bad. Just the way you've been handling business the past 5 to 6 years. Well, just I'm gonna just keep it 100. Just the Bodine regime has come into play. I've never seen so many kids lose a year of eligibility. This would be like the 5th kid that I personally know that lost a year eligibility for some grown-ups. Coach Drew, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me okay?
Can't hear him.
Can you hear me? Hello?
I heard him just now.
We hear back. We hear from the producers office.
I hear the producers office, but I can't hear him.
This one may not be him.
Can you hear me now?
Hold on, Coach Drew. Try to catch it. Try to catch it.
Give us 2 seconds, Coach Drew.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Did y'all hear the vocal
Hello?
coming out of there?
No.
Hello? Can you hear me?
But yeah, we're trying to get some things ironed out with the audio right now.
But it's to me, G, this is horrible, man. I don't understand in a state where sports is so prevalent. Where I said it the last time I was on the show. Louisiana, Florida, Texas, California.
Yes, Mr.
The
Drew?
4 major states where sports is everything.
Right.
Hello, Mr. Drew.
Louisiana is the only rule where a parent can't take a kid and bring a kid wherever you want. This is your kid.
Right.
Can't no other person tell you what to do with your kid. And one thing I've learned, this is my 10-year coaching, when the association wants to get you, they gonna get you. No matter what you say, no matter how much facts you put in front of them, when they want to get you, they gonna get you. Case in point, last year with our quarterback, kid moved, his family moved before the season started in spring ball. The kid walks to school. That's how close he is to the school, and they still didn't let him play all last year. When they want to get you, they'll get you.
I gotta agree with that. I mean, right now you got okay.
Well, real quick, we got some issues going on. We'll take a quick break real quick, and we'll be right back.
When we come back, we will have Andrew Robison's father, Drew Robison, on the line. Stay tuned. We're coming right back.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, DJ Slick Daddy.
This DJ Slick 514.
And of course, I'm your girl, Black Coco.
Tune into the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, every Tuesday, 7 to 8:30, with all the trending topics.
And you can also check out my mix, DJ Slick Mix Pro 1 and 2.
And of course, check out Coco's Sex Tips of the Week.
And hashtag TTBS. That's that bullshit. It's the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, Tuesday, 7 to 8:30. We're always live. Let's go.
Oh, how the time flies. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson. And can you believe that it has been 1 year since Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions hit your airwaves? We have interviewed authors, entrepreneurs, playwrights, musicians, and everyone in between, all to bring you the best of literary conversation. And we plan to do it again this year, but only better. So join us right here in the Literary Lounge each Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. See you there.
What it do, y'all? It's DJ Slick Daddy from the Live Line, here to tell you about the hottest bar on the West Bank, After Dark Sports Bar, 419 LaPelco Boulevard in Gretna. Come check us out on Monday for steak and oyster night. Thursday, free seafood night. Friday, 3-for-1 happy hour. Saturdays, ladies night, and always open for parties. And then Sunday, Saint Sunday, oldie but goodie Sunday. Come find out what is hidden for at After Dark Sports Bar, 419 LaPelco Boulevard in Gretna. Doors open at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports, New Orleans Talk Network. Listen, got to get into this conversation. Coach Drew, are you there now?
We hear the background.
We hear the background.
Coach Drew, you there?
I don't know if he's on the phone.
I don't know if he's on the line.
Unmuted. Unmuted.
Okay.
Hello?
There we go.
There we go.
Coach Drew.
Coach Drew.
Hello?
Coach.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can, Coach.
All right, good. Sorry about that.
We apologize for that on our end too, man.
No worries, no worries.
Well, listen, Coach Drew, listen, this is your boy Fred. Listen, thank you, first and foremost, thank you for giving us a call to actually give us an opportunity to hear from you on the behalf of your son, Andrew Robison. I know your day has been a very busy day, getting a verdict, from the LHSAA regarding your son's eligibility to play football, play quarterback, from high school, for Hahnville High School. But listen, take the time to let people know who've been tuning in. A lot of people have been looking to check us out. Give us an opportunity to tell us, what happened today when y'all was at the board meeting regarding the eligibility for your son.
Right. Well, today was honestly just the appeal hearing for the executive committee, which is made up of 14 principals throughout the state. And so really the ruling was not something that took place today. The ruling was something that we received on, I believe it was August the 23rd.
Right.
And that ruling followed an investigation. So there was a report filed by the previous school. The LHSAA responded to that report with an investigation. That investigation resulted in a ruling by the executive director that we received on the 23rd, and then an immediate appeal was filed, not only on behalf of Andrew, but also in behalf of the school, and that appeal was heard today. So obviously today was devastating because it was our last opportunity for Andrew to be eligible, for Coach Salt to be exonerated and allowed to coach. We were hoping that his suspension would be lifted and that the charges against the school would be lifted. But the committee today voted to uphold the executive decision. What was particularly frustrating about it is that the initial decision that was issued by the executive director absolutely contradicted the findings report from the investigators.
Wow.
And particularly with regard to bona fide news. So what's interesting about the way it works at the beginning is you find out that you've been charged with breaking rules.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only thing that we were told, the only thing that Hahnville High School was told is, hey, you guys broke some rules, and here are the rules that were broken. And they listed about 7 different rules. So if you've ever read the bylaws of the LHSAA, it's a pretty difficult thing to get through. It's not easy reading.
Right.
A lot of ambiguous language and so forth. But basically the key phrases that we got out of it was they objected to the fact that we claimed to have a bona fide move. They objected to the fact that we were supposedly guilty of receiving undue influence to go to the school.
Mm-hmm.
And so, obviously commonly what we call a free. So when we learned that, we then looked at the investigative report, and the investigative report in great detail specified that we had abandoned our previous house, we had a contract for it for sale, we had a department in Newing that was completely furnished and lived in, yet we were told we were guilty of no bona fide move.
Wow.
So it's just amazing to me that you do an investigation, the investigation absolutely proves that we moved, and then we're told we're guilty of not moving.
Wow.
So, that's just the move part of it.
Wow.
Then you get into the recruiting part of it, and there's some other things, involved with the recruiting part of it. So today, what the several leaders in the St. Charles Parish and administrators from the school, and of course my wife and me and several advisors, it was a team of about 13 people, spent about 5 days, probably close to 30 hours, getting prepared for today. And what we basically learned today is that everything we said meant nothing. Our case for we're not guilty of these things, the truth didn't matter, facts did not matter, and ultimately justice did not matter. So it really kind of makes you ask the question of why are these decisions made, and ultimately only I can come up with is it has nothing to do with Andrew. Andrew's just collateral damage. He is a kid that people don't care about because there's some other agendas at hand that are underneath the surface that we just don't know about. That's the only conclusion I can come up with.
Now, Coach,
go ahead.
Coach, we was having difficulties getting y'all this, by the way this coach hit. I stated like your son is like the 5th kid in the past 4 years that I know that loss of year of eligibility.
Right.
And it seems to me like every kid that I know, like we all everybody appealed it, and it seems to me. And tell me if you get it wrong, if you have a different feeling about it. When you get in front of that appeal board, it's like they already have their mind made up, and no matter what facts that you put in front of them,
I agree with that.
They already have their mind set up.
I agree with that.
And they go, they just gonna go with the flow. They just let you talk just to give you that legal obligation to talk, and then no matter what, they already have whatever decision they want to say. They already made it before you even came into the room. Did you get that feeling today?
Yeah, I absolutely did, and to me, the evidence of that, and the reason I feel that way, it's kind of a silly example, but if you ask me, do you like chocolate milkshakes better or vanilla milkshakes better? And I said, well, I want you to give me a 30-minute argument on why chocolate tastes better than vanilla. And then if I say to you, you know what, vanilla's better, then you're going to say, well, okay, if that's your opinion, I don't understand because I've just been trying to tell you how much better chocolate is, but tell me why vanilla is better. And then my answer to you is, vanilla is better. There's no reason given. There's no explanation for it. There's everything you said about chocolate, I didn't even listen to it. And here's what's amazing, to take the analogy further. What if I told you I've never tasted a chocolate milkshake?
Right.
And I still tell you that vanilla tastes better. And if you spend all this energy trying to tell me, and that's a stupid example I gave because it's about an opinion. This is something that's based on facts.
Right.
This is based on actual things that were done and investigated. And to me, it's just incredible for me. I mean, if I were the investigators, I would be looking at the executive director saying, did you not really?
Wow.
But yet the executive director makes a decision that he's never asked, why did you make the decision? On what basis did you make the decision? All he did was you broke these 7 rules. Well, we think through each rule. 4 of them make no sense. They're not about anything at all. And in 3 of them, I understand what you're thinking, but do you understand that we've proven those things to be wrong? I mean, I don't understand how in the world you can possibly accuse us of not having a bona fide news. I mean, there's some other things that I understand are a little bit more difficult with regard to a jersey. Was that undue influence? Was that recruiting? Was there an issue with coming to the spring game? What was the initial contact? Reporting is a very difficult thing to get clear on because there are a lot of details. But when you put it moved, how in the world is that being held against us?
But Coach, not to cut you off, Coach. The jersey thing. Now, the report that I read that Andrew wanted to wear the jersey
of Vanderbilt
Catholic, and head coach of Vanderbilt Catholic, Jeremy Atwood, denied him to wear the jersey. So then,
that's correct.
So that was the reason for him wearing the Hahnville jersey to the Louisiana Magazine photo shoot.
But there's no rule saying that that's illegal.
No rule said there's no wrongdoing of that.
So my point is, did Eddie Bonine, did he explain why he still felt like that was recruiting when Vanderbilt Catholic head coach Jeremy Edwards denied him from wearing the jersey?
There's been nothing explained by anybody. I mean, that's what's incredible to me. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to court, or certainly you've seen movies or TV shows, and you get a little bit of an idea of what a courtroom is like. But a courtroom, it's not like this is the same thing as a courtroom, but at the same time, you are gathering evidence and you're trying to make a decision based on the gathering of that evidence.
Right.
You're trying to build a case based on the facts that you learn during an investigation. I mean, answer your question, no, Eddie Bonine not only has Eddie Bonine not explained anything, Eddie Bonine has not, I've not heard one word out of his mouth at all about anything.
And that's what makes it difficult to deal with.
Right, but the jersey issue is quite simple. I mean, it is simple. It's not simple if you don't understand what happened. But you're correct. The initial issue with the jersey is that the photo shoot was on May the 20th.
Right.
Exams were the following week.
Right.
So regular classes ended at Vanderbilt on Friday, May the 18th. On Friday, May the 18th, we also submitted and have made our final decision and submitted paperwork for enrollment at Hahnville High School. So we had absolutely, unequivocally made not only a verbal commitment, but submitted paperwork and enrollment papers at Hahnville High School for Andrew on May the 18th.
Right.
So the fact that Andrew asked Coach Atwell for the Vanderbilt jersey was basically just an act of courtesy. And it was also an act of, I did receive the invitation to be on the cover of the magazine because of the way I played for Vanderbilt.
Right.
So wearing the Vanderbilt jersey is probably the right thing to do.
The respectful thing.
I'm not on campus at Hahnville yet. I'm not in classes at Hahnville yet. But we also knew that the magazine was coming out in August.
Right.
So, I mean, Paul explained it really well today. He said the reason I gave Andrew the jersey is, number one, because his former coach denied him the Vanderbilt jersey.
Right.
Number two, he had already enrolled on May the 18th, 2 days prior. And number three, the magazine was coming out in August. That's the reason they gave him the jersey. Now, according to the rule book, or the bylaws, undue influence means that I have to give you something to make you decide to come to my school.
Right.
When he made the decision on May the 18th, he wore the jersey 2 days later on May the 20th.
That's
unbelievable. Now, Coach Drew, I coach at AB High School, and my head coach just texted me and told me to express pretty much our programs, compassion and thoughts. We understand what you're going through.
Y'all was doing last year.
Because last year we had a quarterback by the name of Monty Gilmore that transferred in the spring.
Was highly touted.
Did a whole spring semester at AB. He walks to school every day. That's how close he stays to the school. They investigated us for a bona fide move. Had cops trailing him and everything. Watched the kid walk from school the whole spring, all the summer practice, and then wait till the week of the jamboree to tell us that he's eligible.
Right.
So we know the pain. But my thing is, all right, as coaches, one of the things that every coach says, and it's true, like we're in the business of making boys into men. So what is it that we're telling a man that no matter what, you can't do what's best for your child? That there's something that 14 principals who don't know who your kid is, who don't know who my kid is, can say
have hidden agendas.
Who says that no, you can't move your kid to this kid. You're the parent. If you have all the authority over your kid. If you want to move your kid from Hahnville to Carencro, he has no say so in that. So you try to tell me that's being held against him because you and your wife as the parents decide to move to another place, and he has to go to another school. That baffles me, and I would never understand that part, no matter how the bylaws stated. And like you said earlier, the way the articles and all that stuff is set up in the handbook is very confusing. But it's no way that a parent's ruling over their own kid can justify what the LHSAA is trying to do.
Especially when they didn't retain Coach Drew.
Right.
What you want him to keep his son somewhere where y'all not retaining him for the following year.
Right.
So why can't he come with his dad? Did they explain that to you, Coach Drew?
No, there was nothing explained. There was nothing explained at all. And here's what's really difficult about recruiting. And I've coached in 4 different states for 20 years. So I was coaching high school football when Andrew was a baby. Mm-hmm. And these rules in every state, it goes this way. The idea about recruiting and the rules about recruiting, there's really a baseline assumption that all these rules have about parents. And basically the thinking is parents don't have a mind of their own. They can't make decisions for their kids. Because if you say their school's full by kids, well, actually, the parents of that kid had to make a decision to transfer the kid over there.
Right.
So if you're going to say one coach stole a kid, and I understand undue influence, I'm not talking about kids that are getting paid. I'm not talking about, ways that schools are cheating to try to stack their rosters.
Right.
But the reality of it is, I don't know a lot about a lot of other schools, okay? But I know every state has a Don Curtis. They do. Every state has a small private school that has an unbelievable football program. It happens everywhere.
Right.
And what ends up happening over time is everybody says these people steal kids. And I'm not saying whatever a small private school that has a dominant football did, I don't know. I know for sure schools have success. That's when the arrows start coming. And people start accusing them of cheating.
Right.
And so these rules are put into place with this great paranoia of an association is scared to death of schools, accusing other schools of cheating. And in the meantime, you make all these rules, and then you come to a situation like Andrews and forget the whole reason for the rule to begin with. The reason for the rule is you don't want Highville High School taking a quarterback Vanderbilt and it might be Vanderbilt. But our leaving of Vanderbilt was completely Vanderbilt's doing.
Which is true. Which is true.
So there's no possible way we were entitled to leave. So then they're just left with the idea of proving that he was entitled to come behind us.
Right.
And we proved that he wasn't. And you're right, the facts did that.
Right. I got a question for you, Coach Drew. And it's probably a question you may or may not have been asked today. But, as each and every one of us are fathers. We all have our own son. You have a son, G.
Right.
Coach Hen, you have a son. I myself have a son. What did you think about your son today after he received the ruling, after receiving the decision of still remaining eligible? How proud of you as a dad, how your son handled himself publicly today when he was asked questions about people in media, about this decision? How, as a dad, how proud of you are now of your son of how he had to handle this decision? Probably may not be eligible to play this year at all for Highville High School. Talk about that, as far as you as a father. How much more you have respect for your son?
You said it earlier that as coaches, we always want to try and then our young boys to become quality men. We want them to grow up. We want them to be able to handle responsibility. We want them to be leaders in society. And, I used to tell kids that I taught all the time. I tell kids that I coach all the time. I'll never tell you guys I'm smarter than you, but I will tell you that I was born a lot of years before you. And what I mean is I've screwed up. I've screwed up more than you have, and so I've learned a lot of lessons that you haven't had a chance to learn yet. And so that's why I want to teach you what I know. And I've done the same thing with the dad with Andrew. And I mean, to answer your question, it's kind of two ways with him. I mean, he handles himself, quite honestly, in ways that I do not know how I should be credited for it. I don't know why he is as poised as he is. He and I have a lot of competitive similarities in our personalities.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to being thoughtful, being able to read other people, quite honestly, being compassionate, Andrew is like his mom. He's not like me. I mean, trust me, the 18-year-old me in that situation probably would have cussed the whole foot out and screamed at him the whole way out of the room.
Right.
Andrew amazes me at the way he handles things, and I am incredibly proud of him. He knows that you are the man you are because of the way you handled the adversity that you've experienced.
Right.
And, you've been play for a couple of years. I don't know in 20 years if I've coached a kid that's more of a competitor. And I haven't coached a quarterback in 20 years that's more talented than he is. And he's a leader. He is intelligent. He studies film. He makes good decisions. And so I am incredibly proud of it in all that is off the field. At the same time, one of the reasons I believe he's been able to stay hopeful is because he knows, and I know, that he's destined for great things on the football field.
Right.
And as difficult as it is, I mean, we have conversations about D-Hahnville and their football program, and there's so many pieces there that are so good. And I think if Andrew were playing at D-Hahnville, I think the rest of the 5A state would have a lot to worry about. A lot to worry about.
Right. I agree.
So D-Hahnville still would be very good. But the reality of it is, Andrew's talent makes the talent around him better because he spreads the field, he spreads the ball, and he makes all the other talented guys shine. So it's been hard for him because the focus of him right now has been off the field, and he just wants to play football.
Right.
But at the same time, why do we really play football at the end of the day? Because it's about life.
Right.
And he's handling life better than I'm handling life, quite honestly. And I'm 47 years old.
Wow.
Coach, I want to read a comment from a coach that coaches in the same district as D-Hahnville.
Yeah.
In 758. He says, I quote, Atwell was out to hurt this kid and his family. Straight up, I'm going to say it. At the clinic this year, he tried to talk us into turning Andrew in. He's talking about Coach Atwell. He says, I said, for what? That has nothing to do with us. That's a kid. I wouldn't do a kid like that. Now, this is a coach that coaches in the same district as D-Hahnville, and he's saying at the clinic, Coach Atwell came up to him and told him that they need to turn Andrew in. That's I mean, come on, man. That's mind-boggling right there. You serious right now?
Exactly.
You serious right now?
Exactly.
Now, Coach Drew, what I want to know is, like Fred said earlier, I have a son, Fred has a son, G has a son. What can parents do so there would never be another Andrew Robinson situation, a Monty Gilmore situation, Dakota Arnold situation, Brad Lewis situation, et cetera, et cetera? What could we as parents, and then also like me and you, Coach Drew, we're coaches. You know, we pretty much we're at the mercy of the Louisiana High School Athletic Association. What can we do so this never happens again? Because at the end of the day, it's all about these kids. And you're still in precious moments away from a kid. Like I remember my freshman year was hit and miss. My sophomore year, you know, and I was on special teams. But my senior year, like I remember every game, every opponent, and talk about it with my kids to this day. And you just stole this away from your son. And it's something that he'll never get it back. You know, he's a phenomenal talent. He's going to play at the next level. But when he sits around with his teammates at the next level, he can't talk about his senior year. And that's and this
you can't put a price on it.
Right. And it should have never happened to a kid in the first place. But we see that now, especially under this regime, that it's going to continue to happen. So what is the steps or what is the advice that you could give some of the parents out there who might be thinking, you know what, I want to move my kid for a better situation, regardless of the facts of the situation. The parent wants to move their kid for a better situation, period. But they don't want the kid to lose their last year.
I think the immediate answer to that question is when your kid is going into 9th grade, you need to do everything you can to try to make sure that it's a 3-year decision. Don't transfer.
Wow.
Now, as far as big picture, what I've learned, and this is not just in Louisiana, I think this is kind of the case in other states too. But the reality of it is, I think every school in this state is like a battered wife that is afraid to press charges against their husband who beats her up. And until you turn that husband in and you get a power over that husband to set him straight, lock him up, make her safe, it's never going to change. It's almost like the monster in the woods. The problem is if you've got a dragon in the woods that's hurting people, killing people, bullying people all the time, 80% of all the people in the woods, they never see the dragon. The dragon doesn't bother them. They don't bother the dragon. But they know the dragon is everything. Somebody at some point is going to have to slay the dragon. Or it's never going to change. Because to me, the problem is not one person. Sure, there probably are problems with individual people, but the problem we have right now with this association is systemic. It is a problem with a system. It is a problem because it has all turned into payback.
Right.
It all turned into, we're going to get them, but we're going to get them, but hey, 3 years later, as soon as I get them, we're going to get them. And that's why, Andrew, I believe that the LHSAA has been waiting for 3 years to get Andrew Robison. I don't believe that any of those people today in that room hate Andrew Robison. But there are forces at work in that room that caused the vote to be about things that didn't have anything to do with Andrew Robison and didn't have anything to do with the facts of this case. And that's called organized crime. That's called corruption.
Yeah. That's called corruption. Yep.
Hey, I think my nickname for him is the Mafia.
I'm
just being real. That's my nickname for him.
This is my question. Out of the 14,
well, you've seen enough mafia movies to know how does the Don become the Don?
Hey,
he blows Don's brains out.
Yeah, I'm telling you that.
Facts, coach.
Bodine name might need to be changed to Coleon. Just being real.
So coach, out of the 14 principals that's on the board, do you know? I don't know if you know it by heart or you have an idea what schools those 14 principals represent. Because I know one of them for sure, and they're in District 75E. Huh?
Are you asking who turned Andrew in?
No. What I'm asking is the 14 principals that's on the board for the LHSAA.
Oh yeah. There's a list of them. I know 4 did not vote and voted to uphold. So I don't know. Rich, I bet Eric here or Jim Gary could tell you.
I know for sure. Joe Claymore from Terrebonne High School, who's the athletic director and the defensive coordinator for Terrebonne High School, is one of the guys on that board. So I mean,
yeah,
how does he get a vote?
Well, matter of fact,
how does he get a vote? Like that's Hahnville is in their district. You think he's going to say, yeah, I vote Andrew Robison to be eligible, and I know we got to play them week 5, and I know if Andrew Robison's on that team, we're going to have a trouble stopping that offense.
Five of the
Come on, man.
5 of the principals are 5A schools. Now that I think about it, that's on the executive committee.
And
like you said,
come on, man.
Before Andrew, before y'all moved to Hahnville, it was like, all right, it's Zachary's to lose, maybe somebody else, and then Andrew makes moves like,
yeah, it changes everything.
Nah, we don't want to see that matchup again. You know, for the state state championship.
So my question is to you, coach, with coaches and principals that's inside the same district as Hahnville having a say-so of your child's eligibility, like, was that brought up during the appeal process and during when y'all was trying to get the ruling the first time?
Yeah, that's a good question. I will say this. I did not know who all the 14 people were. I mean, I saw them, but I don't know them. I don't know their face. I don't know their name.
Joe Claymore was there today. I saw him on the video.
Yeah, Coach Saul, I think, was telling me before the hearing today, he said hello to the Terrebonne principal, and he kind of walked away and then saw it down, and he said that was the Terrebonne principal. And I said, oh, okay. And then after the whole thing, I did not hear everything. I didn't hear each person, but there were 4 people who said pass or whatever. They like said, I'm not going to vote. And then I believe maybe it was Jim or Eric Ritchie, or maybe it was Salt or something. Somebody told me afterward that the Terrebonne principal was one of those 4 that did not vote. Okay. It may be, I know I'm kind of speculating here, but it may be that he kind of looked at that and said, it's not going to look right for me to vote here, and so I'm just going to kind of recuse myself because I'm in the district of D-Hahnville, which to me would have been the right thing to do. Yeah. And if he did it, kudos to him. But
so that's just speculation, or that's just speculation?
Why did LHSAA make him do that? I mean, why did he even have the option to vote?
Exactly.
So, I don't know. I just, I mean, I tell you what, as horrified as I am about how my family's been affected and how Andrew's been affected by this decision, I can live with myself far better than if I'm going to go through the rest of the day and wake up tomorrow morning knowing that I was a part of that organization. Because I don't know if I could live that way.
Right.
I mean, that's embarrassing.
And the crazy thing is, and I'm not picking on no program or nothing like that, but I'm just being 100% honest. If Andrew was transferred to Walter L. Cohen, nobody would have said a word. Yeah. Nobody would have said a word. But since he transferred to a school that's the runner up, the 5A runner up, that nobody thought had a chance when the season started, and they lost just one key player off that team, and the majority of the teams coming back, now it's a problem. And I do believe that there, and this just comes from experience. I don't think it's specific to Puka, but when you've got a talent like Puka Williams, that's a generational talent. I mean, that guy is unbelievable. I mean, we saw last Saturday how good that guy is. Yeah.
Puka Williams, when a team has a Puka Williams like they did last year, everybody else looks at that and they resent it, and they grow bitter about it. And then they try to accuse people of cheating because how did Salt get Puka? How did Tiger get Puka? Well, Puka grew up right there.
Right.
As far as I know. So I don't know any details about Puka other than he's a great football player. But I know that whenever you have a generational talent like that, the default for most people is not to say, wow, that kid's awesome. The default for most people is they're going to get jealous, they're going to try to tear him down, they're going to try to say he cheats. Right. And I know that because it happened to me in a small way in Terrebonne for 3 years. Well, that's just the way people are. They want to tear down.
Well, listen, Coach. It's just Fred. I want to ask you a question. I know we got a lot more to discuss on tonight's show, but I want to give one of the questions. When our callers had said, so what happens now? What's next in this process? With you and Andrew.
Great question. We've been talking about it a little bit. To me, well, to all of us, to Andrew, the most important thing for him right now, I think, is to focus on the next major goal in his life, which is college. He's got a pretty good relationship with a couple of schools that are out with their big programs and haven't offered him scholarships yet. And I don't know if he'll end up at one of those are not. They're Boise State, Purdue.
Right.
Okay. The coaches that are at those two schools are outstanding quarterback coaches. They're outstanding system coaches. And it would be awesome if he were to go to either of those places. Memphis is another one that is a great program. They've talked to him a little bit, but Andrew doesn't have quite the relationship with Norvell that he does at the other two places.
Right.
So obviously we were hoping that this season would get some film that would be able to get these guys a little bit more excited about Andrew. So what we're going to do is we're going to explore those schools in a little bit more detail. We're going to make sure those coaches know Andrew's situation and probably seek their advice. You know, I don't know if they've seen enough to where they're kind of like, you know, Andrew, number 4 quarterback on our 2019 board, and you know we'll offer him, but those 3 other guys have got to commit other places.
Right.
Or for whatever reason, you know, I mean, this guy's 6'4", Andrew's 6 foot.
Right.
We'd rather, you know, we like Andrew, but we like 6'4" more than 6 foot, so that's why he's number 2 and Andrew's number 4.
Right.
And those are the types of things that we've got to sort of figure out. You know, I don't know about Nichols yet. I mean, Nichols State has offered Andrew. They want Andrew. There is it is a great program. Rebo called Andrew several times in the midst of the challenges he was having with his old coach and reassured him and gave him a lot of encouragement. And so I think a lot of Rebo, I think a lot of Nichols' program right now, and, you know, probably like a lot of kids that are sort of borderline kids, Nichols is a great program, but if you're pretty confident, you know, you can play in the Big 12 or you can play in the SEC or you can play in the Big 10.
Right.
I think they're going to go for it, you know. So that's the type of thing that we've got to sort of wade through. I think that one thing we're going to explore is the possibility of Andrew enrolling at a college in January, and try to get him ready for that, and then he can really get a lot of training in a few months that is going to benefit him no matter what he does.
Right. Right.
We've also got to really start pushing him, which you don't really afford the time to do in a regular football season when you're starting at quarterback, because of the beating that your body takes, and you tend to lose weight a little bit as the season goes on and so forth.
Right.
You know, Andrew can really use this right now as more of an off season. So, you know, I know you've worked hard to get to 192, but how do we get you to 202?
Right.
You know, how do we get you 4 pounds on you? How do we get that 4.75 maybe down to 4.68?
Right.
Make you a little bit quicker, and then, you know, and then just keep throwing the ball. I mean, the arm talent is something that, honestly, the best thing for him is to guard his wrist. You know, we're not gonna go work out with Andrew to get his arm stronger. I mean, he can fling it.
Right.
As well as he. But he's got to get bigger. He's got to get faster, and he's just got to work on his body.
Right.
And so he has. I mean, you've seen him. I mean, 2 years ago he was 168. Right now he's 192.
Right. Right.
So, you know, he's quite honestly. I mean, he's a little different off the field, a little different personality from Baker Mayfield. But the way he plays, he's not. I know Baker Mayfield. They compared him to Johnny Manziel. Well, Johnny Manziel was way faster.
Right.
Johnny Manziel was incredible with his feet. Baker is not an unbelievable athlete with his feet, but he's quick, he's elusive, and Baker Mayfield's just a dude. He's just a competitor.
Right.
And that's the way Andrew plays.
Right.
He's just a dude that's going to do whatever it takes to win, and he's always been that way. I mean, this kid used to literally storm into his room at 8 years old and cry when we used to love Tony Dungy's Buccaneers before Gruden got there. I mean, he would actually, like, throw temper tantrums when the Bucs would lose because Cooper would throw a pick, you know? I mean, he wants to win.
So he had a pretty good Sunday.
Yeah, so that's right. He did. But the thing is, Coach Salt has been unbelievable to Andrew, and honestly, we didn't know it until we met him. But Coach Salt, I mean, he's coached a lot of really good players over the years,
right?
Which means he's talked to a lot of college coaches over the years.
Right.
He's got a lot of relationships with a lot of college coaches, and the relationships that Andrew's just built in the last 3 months, and the support systems and the way this whole adversity, obviously it's been horrible in terms of getting him on the field, but it's been unbelievably positive in terms of support and building a community. And, I mean, our plan right now, as best I could tell, is, Andrew's going to be working on himself, working on his body, working on being a mentor to Andrew Knockin, who's a sophomore quarterback who has potential to be pretty good. And, I think I'm not on the staff, and I'm not going to tell Coach Salt what to do, but I would almost rather take my chances with my sophomore quarterback, get Quan in space so that he's not just taking every snap and getting pounded.
Right.
I mean, I watched the U.S. game, and Quan just got pounded. He had nowhere to go.
Right.
And it's a lot easier to get your offensive line to move people when there's 5 in the box.
Right.
Because they're worried about the edge and your quick passing game.
Right.
So even though Knockin's young, and even though Knockin doesn't have quite the zip yet that I think he can develop and work on, I think just spreading the ball around. I mean, Honville's got 3 or 4 dudes right now that haven't even touched the ball, really.
Right.
And they're really good. They've got a 6'5" tight end that I think is already committed to Nichols. They've got a little dude that reminds me of Trendon Holiday named Jerry, who's probably 5'8", 140, and he can fly and has great hands. He's explosive. And they've got a couple other receivers that are just really good. And Quan's the best player they got, And so they've got some players, and their O-line is big. They're strong. They're okay with their feet, but they're not super quick.
Right.
But they're not good enough to just line up and ram it down your throat between the tackles and win games.
Right.
They're going to have to split the field a little bit. So Andrew can actually have a role in kind of assisting the offensive coordinator, working with the quarterback a little bit, and just working on his own body. And, I mean, the only good thing about not playing football Friday night is you're not getting your body beat up.
Right.
So he can really build up his muscle mass, and then we'll just keep talking to college coaches. He's already been invited to 3 All-Star games, which I think are all in December. So, that still gives us a little bit more time before signing day in February.
Right.
So, we are so grateful for the Hahnville community and the way they have taken Andrew in. And obviously, they would love for him to play quarterback, but they have shown in the last month that they care about him as a person. They care about their community. They care about their program. And it's not just about playing the position.
Right.
And it's kind of amazingly hurtful when you think for 3 years you're in a program where people care about you as a person, but all of a sudden, when that person's not your quarterback, somebody turns a 180 and completely changes it.
Right. Well, Coach, man, we really, really appreciate you calling in. My heart goes out to you and your family, man. I've been knowing y'all for a few years now since y'all moved down here from Tennessee, man, and I have nothing but good things to say about y'all, man. I mean, Andrew, you and your wife and your daughter, man, first class. And I know it's only up from here for y'all, and I know the best is yet to come for Andrew, and I think he's going to have a fantastic college career, and I know y'all going to lead him to good things going forward.
Well, listen, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, G, and thanks for having me on the show, guys. Really good talking to you, and you know what? I hope that somehow down the road some of this bad stuff will help the state. I hope it'll wake some schools up, wake some coaches, principals up, and try to encourage people that you gotta try to change this. You can't just turn the other way and hope it's gonna change, because it won't.
Right.
Somebody's gonna have to be courageous and slay that dragon in order to get things moving in the right direction for the whole state.
Right. Appreciate you, Coach Drew, man. We will be in touch, man.
All right, guys.
Best of luck to y'all.
Take care. Thanks again.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Man.
Powerful. I think he made one of the statements of the year. His description of the LHSAA, that dragon that nobody wants, that bad wife, the bad wife.
What's the movie?
Godfather, baby.
Godfather.
I tell you, Michael Corleone.
It's just it hurts me, bro, because I think back to how I was when I was in high school.
Right.
Just think back when you was in high school, if your senior year, you know how excited you be that summer?
Right.
Like, man, it's my senior year homecoming. I'm the man. I'm a captain. I'm gonna probably be a captain. It is so many different things
that goes into it.
And he's highly touted. I get another chance to showcase my talents in front of these college coaches, and now he's just stripped away.
Right.
Like that.
I saw how I used to hurt my teammates. Now my parents wouldn't let it happen to me, but when the progress reports used to come out right before the district, like, look, you can't play no more. You below the academic status and how it affected them. So, and they at least got to play 6 games.
Right.
This kid don't get to play. His last game was a scrimmage. That's crazy.
Right. It was crazy. And to me, I just think at the end of the day, if you're gonna find the coach, he's a coach.
Right.
He can be able to coach again.
Right.
If you want to find the school, I mean, that's on the taxpayers at the end of the day. So by all means, but that kid does not get that senior year again. So my thing is the ruling, so to speak. If you're going to find the coach, he's going to be coaching. You're going to find a school. It's the tax bills on the table. But that kid is completely not able to have that senior year. And like I said, we're talking about possibly the next 4 or 5 years of that kid's life that he could have an impact on his life. And you don't know what, like I said a few weeks back when we did this show, man, kids like that, when they get to have their senior year, man, they remember that. If they remember that, they remember their senior. You never know what that kid may be a decade from now. May come back to be back in the same community coaching other kids coming up. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because he had a senior year and he had a chance to play his last year, and he could be able to express that to the kids coming back. So you don't know what that kid life could be like if he had a chance to play his senior year. So
Big Hen made a good point. If he had transferred to
Cohen,
and let me before I know you go. Let me put it out. Look, Walter L. Cohen's had a hell of a year right now.
It's no not to. I'm just saying, like, Home has won state championships. There was a state run. I'm just saying, like, if they had transferred to a school that wasn't prominent,
right,
and been successful as of late,
right,
would this have happened?
No.
And they gotta change this, man. Man, you got people in the same district on that board. You got people that's in 5E on that board, so they thinking like Harvard got a chance to make a run, so we might have to see these people in the playoffs.
Exactly.
That's a cause of influence,
and they're
bro.
allowed to make a decision, even if he didn't vote yes or no. But him just being there gave him the opportunity to make a decision. How
could you possibly think that this is the correct thing and this situation is being handled correctly? It hurts me, bro, because I know the family, but it even hurts me as a person because I know if that was me or if that was my son,
right,
I would be devastated right now. You cannot get that senior year back. You can't get it back. Right. And I think when Andrew Robison and his father, they handled this first class. I mean, if you've seen the video from Eric Richard, it was breathtaking when they found out the decision, bro.
Right. Now listen, guys, we got to get ready to switch gears. Appreciate everybody for tuning in for that segment. But we got to get into a little bit more about high school football.
Yeah.
We got
a lot of
controversy going on. We got to get into, switching gears. We got to get into the Edna Carr, Landry Walker. My man GSportz been covering this game, for several years now.
Yeah.
And the controversy coin toss, that
went viral. Over 100,000 views.
I had to snap on somebody on Twitter.
Man, people are losing their mind behind this coin toss.
Listen, for people who haven't seen the coin toss, y'all stay right there. My producer gonna put the coin toss up.
Well, matter of fact, what we're gonna do, we're gonna play the previous 2 years, which is 2016, 2017, and then we're gonna play this year's coin toss because we want people to see how this rivalry actually goes down. And
then we got the coach on the line.
And then we got the head coach for EdnaKarr, Coach Bryce Brown, who's on the line, who wants to touch on this topic and things that people been saying all on social media. You got half people saying they like what happened, and you got half people saying, oh, these kids have no sportsmanship. Who are these coaches letting these kids do this? And they're ignorant, and they thugs and stuff like that. So we're going to have Coach Bryce Brown touch on this subject, man. But producer, play the video.
Roll that beautiful beat.
Yeah, roll that footage of the coin toss.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to recognize all of our elected officials who have joined us for this wonderful game. Today is a unity game for Algiers. We have Mr. Aaron Clay, who is the principal of EdnaKarr High School. We have Mr. Rain Crochet, who is the board member of Inspired Noah. We have Senator Troy Carter for Algiers. We have Representative Gary Carter for Algiers. We have Councilmember Nadine Ramsey. We have Nadine Ramsey. Elder Carter, CEO. Renee Lewis Carter. And Sean Noah, CEO. Andrew Walker, Principal. Mr. Tyrone Cassidy, Senior. Principal. Mr. David
Your wife in the game. Let's keep it clean, okay? We're gonna have a good ball game. I know y'all know each other. All right. You're the division team technically, although I think you're familiar with the stadium. This is head. This is tails. All right. Which do you prefer, heads or tails? Tails. Tails. And one's tails, right? Shake hands, gentlemen. Gentlemen, shake hands. Everybody stop right now. I'm telling you right now. When I say gentlemen, shake hands, you will shake hands. Otherwise, you seven will start unfortunately like Canada. The second one, you're out the game. You understand me? I will not have this tonight. Take your hands up behind your back. You get this. You up. All right. This weekend, that's it. Shake hands, gentlemen. Shake hands.
There you have it.
There you have it, folks.
Rivalry at its best.
Coach Bryce Brown, are you on the line?
Yes, sir.
Coach Bryce, man, appreciate you. I know y'all getting prepared for De La Salle, and I know how you are during game week, so I know for you to call in right now, this is a big deal.
Well, first of all, welcome back, Coach.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
What's up, fella?
What's going on, baby?
What's going on?
But the topic of conversation since last Friday at the Battle of Algiers with LandryWalker and Carr, this rivalry goes back before I was even thinking about playing football.
Since it was O.K.A. Walker and L.B. Landry.
It's been a big deal about the coin toss. I'm sure you heard about it. I know you ain't on social media, Coach Bryce, but I'm sure you heard about it from people in the building over there in the car. But it's been a big deal about they coming to the midfield and not want to shake hands, and you got half the people on social media and in the public saying that they like it because it's a rivalry and they like the competitiveness and you shake hands after the game.
Right.
And then you got the other half of people saying these kids are ignorant and they're thugs and there's no sportsmanship and the coaches are not teaching them the right things. So we kind of want you to chime in and give your take on the whole coin toss and kind of let the public know about this rivalry and about what happens every year at this coin toss.
Well, I think first of all, let me say this.
I'm not on social media, but I could care less what people say on social media who don't have no influence on college football whatsoever. So I don't really get caught up into, hearsay. But I'll let the record show, this rivalry is something that only eligible people understand. These kids are family members. These kids have been friends their whole lives, and this rivalry really is only for one day.
Right.
At the end of that day, we support Landry Walker, and I'm pretty sure they support us. And we showed that in 2016 when both of us were crowned 4A and 5A state champions, supporting each other at that game.
Right.
So, for the coin toss, I think that's been going on at the coin toss since I played that call.
Right.
I can see how people can get it, misconstrued as, unsportsmanlike, but it's not. And like I said before, these kids, they've been knowing each other half their lives, and they relatives, they cousins, they best friends, they grew up in the same neighborhoods and just had a like in the Landry Walker, and some have a like in the EdnaKarr. So that's just what it is. It's nothing personal. It's nothing malicious. Nothing. No kind of ill intent. It's just a representation of how serious the community takes the rivalry game. And I'm pretty sure if you go look at it, the Landry Walker and Carr fans probably like it because they were a part of it and they know what it's all about. And they know it's not a personal deal. But for the people who don't understand it, that's their business if they don't want to understand it. If they choose not to support us based off of something they don't understand or something they don't know, that's up to them and that's their choice.
Now, Coach, one of the things that bothered me the most about it is because it went viral. It went viral pretty quickly. And I know your staff. We played against each other in high school. We always talk when we see each other out and about. But the problem I have is when people come after kids. And one of the days, like it was on G's Twitter page, like he reposted it, and the first comment I seen was they were talking about Devin. And Devin is one of the smaller kids on your team.
Right.
And they said, look at Seven, look at that punk. Look what type of thug they got ready. So it moved me in a way like, first of all, do you know these kids? Do you know these coaches? Do you know what they stand for? So if you don't understand them, how can you just go out and just talk about them like that? And my thing just was, how do you feel like for something as simple as a video for people to automatically start talking negative, not about your program, but about the kids that your program represents?
It's just like we tell the kids every day, they got to ignore that noise. For a kid like Devin, who a 3.8 student, who has 20 plus on the ACT, have a million scholarship offers, the average person, and let me say that again, the average person, they don't understand or comprehend, what these kids go through on a daily basis, with the work they go through, the pressure of playing that card, the pressure of playing in a rivalry like that, and choosing college. So, for them to get personal with a kid is just a reflection on the stupidity in which they can accept for themselves. I think, when it comes down to social media, I'm not on it. I don't really, you can say what you want to say about me, but if you want to attack a kid, I'm going to be at one address and I'm going to be at 3332, and you can come to me. You can, whatever you got to say, you can come say it to my face. But we want to lead the kids out of it because these kids work their tail off. These kids work hard to represent their community, represent their family. So people who show a sense of stupidity and an ignorance to where they can attack kids, they don't need to be high school football supporters.
Right.
They need to mind their own business and stay in their own lane.
Now, Coach, this is my question. I've been covering this game even before I started GSportz. I've been coming to this game for a number of years. I don't remember this particular head referee working this game, and my question to you is, how do you feel about how he handled it, and saying that he's going to hit him with an unsportsmanlike, and then the side referee was vouching for him, saying, "Yeah, we're going to hit you with an unsportsmanlike, and if you get another one, you're kicked out of this game and kicked out of the next game." Did you know what happened at the coin toss, or did you hear about it after the game? And how do you feel about the whole situation, about how the referee handled it?
Well, first on how he handled it, after I saw it, hitting your last question first, I didn't know what happened at the coin toss until somebody showed me the video that y'all speaking about. But after I saw it, I think the referee handled it right. It's very clear, the rules of sportsmanship and shaking hands before the game. So, I think, he put him in a rough position because, they officiated the game well, and they don't want to throw the kids out. They don't want to throw them out. They just want to have a good, clean game because, some officials, they don't understand the rivalry either.
Right.
They see, two black schools playing, so something bad going to happen. So they're trying to prevent that from happening. So I can understand that mindset too, but I think for us, we can't have a fixed mindset just because of that. I think we got to expand. Number one, I think he handled it well. He got the result he wanted. The game was officiated well. It was called cleanly. No incidents occurred, and I think that's the main part and the main focus. What people not talking about is how you line up when the clock hits 0 in the fourth quarter, and every single coach and every single player can embrace each other on the 50-yard line and shake hands and tell each other good game. That's what's not being talked about. What's being talked about is how it started, not how it ends.
Well, Coach, I got a question for you. Cause like I said, you're not on social media, but us as people, as sports fans, we are on social media, and this video went viral. Not just maybe for one reason or another. Main reason because it can be sportsmanship, but how no one really seen two schools approach each other and not necessarily dap each other. Or some people saw. I thought it was a pretty good thing because I'm familiar with the two programs.
I liked it.
But now going forward, you're talking about maybe next year. I know this is kind of asking you kind of prematurely, but now social media gonna be looking forward to see what Edna Carr and Landry do as the coin toss.
It's gonna be a storyline
next year. This is gonna be a storyline. So the question is, and again, I know it's a premature question, but is it something that you think about talking to your kids about maybe coming next year or something like that? Because this is gonna be an upcoming topic when you see Landry Walker and Edna Carr play each other. Because now, for the past few years, first it wasn't a big thing, but this particular one, because it's the evolution of social media, it went viral. It was a big deal because these are two big programs in the state of Louisiana. So what should think, do you think you'll talk to your kids about it, or do you think it's just something that they could continue doing?
Or even when y'all play Warren Easton in week 10, because that's a big rivalry.
Yeah. I mean, we're not having no conversation about none of that. I think our main goal, what we've been preaching since day one is not what we're doing, it's how we're doing it. So I'm not going to let, social media or whatever dictate to me my message that I'm trying to get across to my players. And for me, it wasn't an issue because, like I said, no incidents occurred. And look, I can respect people's opinions. You can either accept it or you're not going to accept it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to make the best decision for my team, and that's what we're going to roll with. But I'm not going to address. We haven't addressed the issue. I'm not going to address the issue. Our main focus right now is still ourselves. I'm calling in to more talk about what the kids are doing, not what they're not doing.
Not cool. Now, I know y'all play De La Salle on tomorrow night. I kind of want to rewind to last year because that was y'all first loss in what 2 years last year when y'all lost to them. Am I correct?
Yeah, that was our first loss in 2 years.
That was our first loss in 2 years. I don't know if that came from complacency or if it came from lack of preparation. I don't know. Only you know that. But just tell me.
But De La Salle did win.
No, they got whooped.
They got whooped. My bad. They got whooped.
Just kind of talk about. And I know you're not into the revenge factor and all that kind of things, but just talk about with that loss last year. how that fueled y'all as a staff and kind of got y'all into a mood of, look, we're not invincible. Yeah, we're one of the top program, if not the top program in Louisiana, but we took that loss as a positive, and we're going to go forward with our best foot ahead.
You know, that's a good question. But, you know, last year, you know, I thought that we went into the game a little lackadaisical and not taking it as serious. But, you know, this year we haven't really talked more about last year because, you know, we have a lot of kids who weren't even on the team last year who were playing junior varsity who weren't affected by that game. I think that, you know, for me, that's last year's team. You know, that's last year. You know, I'm on to a different year. This don't have nothing to do with the game last year as a result of it. You know, and I'm gonna let you know, my message to the team since we're talking about it. You know, we talking about revenge or we talking about redemption, however you want to put it, it all mean the same thing. But when you play an opponent, we can't take losses personal, because if we taking it personal, that means we have a connection to it.
Elaborate, Coach, kind of elaborate on that. What you mean by that? Like,
you sound a real Bill Belichick over there, Coach.
Well, let me finish. And I'll explain it to you.
All right.
If you would have asked me, okay, Coach, did you take last year's loss personal to De La Salle? Are you seeking revenge? Are you seeking redemption? I would simply answer you no, because I can't take it personal, because if I'm taking it personal, that means I have a connection to it. So that means if I call one of my coaches and I say, man, you're a bad coach, he would take that personal. Correct. You know why? Because he has a connection to me, that we're connected.
Right.
So we can't take losses personal because we're not connected to De La Salle. What we need to be taking personal is what Carr does on the field. And I think that's the main message that we're going through on Friday, regardless of the result, that we're not going to take it personal because we don't have any personal vendetta against De La Salle. What we're going against on Friday night is Carr, because that's our personal connection.
That sounds real EdnaKarr-like. It sounds like some Devin Bush mentioned when he was on the show a few weeks back.
Yeah. Now, Coach Bryce. Now, we talk about De La Salle. They got a pretty good running back that y'all be facing come tomorrow, but you got two good running backs. So is this going to be one of them slugfest, game get over with kind of fast, and we both predominantly running, or what you think they gonna try to do to try to limit that two-headed monster Roddy and Mott?
You know what? Yeah, I think you said it well. I think De La Salle, they have good running back over there. We got our own backs over here, so but we're gonna do what the game plan tell us to do, what the personnel tell us to do. If they tell us to run it, we're going to run it. If they tell us to throw it, we're going to throw it. I think, that's how we have a lot of success. That, you might think that we might come out tomorrow and run it 40 times like we did against Landry Walker, but then again, we might not. We might pass it 40 times. But that's going to be predicated on how we feel our best matchups are on the field. And I think that's the kind of preparation we take. These coaches, they work hard here. And we spend hours and hours and hours of watching film and in meetings. So we're going to have a great plan. I don't know if our execution going to be great. That's yet to be seen tomorrow. But, we're going to have a great plan, and hopefully the boys come out and they execute it.
I feel now, Coach Bryce, you my boy, and I always got to leave you with something that's going to make you laugh. So I'm going to ask this question for you. Flashback to 2002. Y'all, it's week 3. L.W. Higgins versus EdnaKarr at EdnaKarr. L.W. Higgins come out in the spread offense and not that old bored-ass wing tee that our coach wanted to run. Who would have won that game? Hey, I told you I'm going to get you laugh, baby. I always get you to laugh.
He brought it back.
Well, you know what? Scholar didn't play. Who didn't play that year?
Scholar.
He was gone. he was gone. That was after him. So who didn't play? Y'all had a backup quarterback.
No. Scholar was still on the team. He got hurt.
LSU told him no play.
He was hurt.
LSU told him no play.
G, you was in the tri-parent. You don't know what happened on the West Bank.
He was hurt.
He was hurt. He was hurt.
He was hurt. I can tell you what, if that Higgins team ran a spread offense, that probably would have been the best spread offense in the history of Louisiana.
Lord! And that's why I love you, Bryce. Because look, that's why I love you, Bryce. Because you always stick it where it hurt to me. Because I know, I know we was a state championship caliber team, but seeing it from a coach that won multiple state championships and knew what we was. Because see, if I ask that question to Brendan and Norman, they just gonna lie. They gonna lie. They gonna lie, and they gonna act like Ace was the best back to ever come through Louisiana, which we know wasn't the truth. But you gonna keep it real. That's why I respect you. That's why I respect you.
My last question for you, Coach, before we let you go. This team is different since you've been a head coach, and what I mean by that is you got a lot of young talent. Not saying you don't have a lot of good seniors. You have some good seniors, but it seems like a lot of the bulk of the nucleus of your talent is from your juniors, your sophomore. You got some talented freshmen. Yeah. Aaron Anderson, who I know you're trying to hide, but but we all know how good he is. Just talk about the state of this program in the future and how the sky's the limits for those young kids, and I know, I've been hearing rumors. I don't know how true this is. You could kind of touch on this if you want. If you don't, I don't know. That y'all talking about playing a national schedule going forward because of all the young talent that y'all have. So just talk about the state of the program and the future of EdnaKarr with so many of those talented players y'all got coming up that's 9th, 10th, and 11th grade.
Yeah, you know what? I think you hit it on the head. We really got a young team, but we have a good senior nucleus also with some good talent also. But I think what's been the most impressive part to me is how the seniors are getting these juniors and sophomores and freshmen ready to fulfill their legacy and to keep building Carr into this national brand and showing them the Carr way. I think that's the best part about it. Like you said, Aaron Anderson, the Tyreek Hill, those guys are freshmen that's starting in some kind of fashion on either special teams or defense. So, that's unheard of in this program, freshmen come in and play and can really contribute. But, that's the best thing about Carr to me is that we're going to play the best player. And, these guys that have brought in, I think next year, we haven't really gotten into the reclassification yet, but you're going to see a different type of schedule that we're trying to work on, playing some state power teams, and it's going to be some fun matchups that hopefully you guys get to see.
Oh, man, Coach, man, I appreciate you again, like I said, because I know how you are during game week. You're probably about to leave the office right now and go watch more film. But like I said, man, I appreciate you calling in, coming on the show again, man. Good luck to y'all tomorrow night and the rest of the season.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all go.
All right.
That's Coach Brown, y'all.
Coach Brown, man.
Look, we purple and gold. They purple and gold. I just wish he sent us some of them extra Under Armour jerseys that he's not using right now. Now I know we about to be an Adidas school, but we ain't there yet. So send us some of them the extra purple and gold that you're not using.
I like the way he handled the coin toss controversy. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't think it was a controversy.
It's social media.
The way,
and people I've talked to, it's like divided. It's like you got half the people saying, and like he said, he don't care about what people think. Yeah. He going about his own program. Right. But half the people saying, oh, they ignorant, they thugs, they have no sportsmanship. What are the coaches teaching them? That's why people in New Orleans, the kids in New Orleans, killing each other. That's what people saying.
Right.
And you got other half of people saying, that's a rivalry.
That's a rivalry.
Y'all don't understand that rivalry.
You don't understand it.
Them kids hang together on the weekends.
Like Bernie Mac said, you don't understand.
You don't understand. And so I love the way he handled it from a coach's standpoint and from as Bryce.
Bryce.
Like, not Coach Bryce. You know what I'm saying? You could tell.
Yeah, right. He got to switch.
Exactly. And that's my point.
If you know if he got to switch.
That's my point. And I felt the same way. The way that ref handled it, like Coach Bryce said, I've never seen him rough that game. Right. In the last 6-7 years I've never seen him rough that game. So I guess he's coming into this like, I don't know about this. This looks like it's gonna be
But I'm gonna flip this script on you before we get to our next caller. Just think about. I'm just gonna use our example. Y'all was at the St. Lena game last year. That was a special St. Lena team. That was a special team that we had. Look back at your broadcast. The referee came out and he said around the back, "Hey, this is a heavyweight fight. I don't want to get involved." Hit a coin toss.
Right.
Certain referees, but see, that referee, ever since I've been coaching 10 years, and he's been in that area 10 years, so he learned the landscape of.
You learn the lingo.
Who's hot, who's not. Right. All right, look,
Right.
that's the type of. Maybe he's used to. Maybe he's a Catholic League coach.
Right.
Ref, and he got in that area like, hey, I'm about my environment. I'm killing it right now.
I gotta have control of the game.
And that's the job of the referee. The job of the referee is to have control of the game. Much as we don't want him to get involved, but his job also control the game.
But I just think that he should have talked to somebody and understood the rivalry and what it's all about. That's my opinion. We got a caller on the line.
Hey, what's up, G-Sportz?
Who that is?
With the old school name.
Yeah,
This off the watch, man. I'm on the road. I'm listening to the show. I listen almost every week. I might not say nothing, but I'm always listening because I got a kid that's in playing college football right now myself.
For y'all that don't know, that's A.Robison, the freshman All-American at Louisiana Tech. That's his father, Arthur Watts. Man, appreciate you, man, for tuning in every week, being a faithful follower. Man, how you doing, man? I know you're on the road, getting it in, man, working, man.
Yeah, man. I just want to kind of elaborate on, especially with the kids out of Hahnville. With that little situation, I was looking on Twitter because I'm always on Twitter too, finding out information about my own kids. So I just feel like I think they're out of line.
Yeah.
I think they should rethink that rule. Because just like the rule that was in college football, when a kid wants to transfer, a coach can leave whenever he got ready for more money, but a kid can't leave to go get his opportunity. They have to change that.
Right.
Same thing in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Louisiana is so far behind in everything because everything is politics. If you rob my hand, I'll rob yours. That's how I go in Louisiana.
Right.
So
favor
I just feel like, and I asked a friend of mine earlier, I'm like, did his parents move to the Hahnville district?
Bonafide, sold the house.
He qualified, so why are we here?
Because they're saying he got recruited, allegedly.
Okay, do you have any proof that he got recruited? Now, we got to get into all those things. My point is that you cannot, it's not right, it's right and wrong. That's the bottom line, right and wrong. You're right, you're right, you're wrong, you're wrong, and you're wrong.
Right.
And you went, and the people appealed it, and you came back with the same wrong decision.
Right.
And they came back, they came back unanimous too.
Unanimous.
That's what bothered me. Unanimous?
That word.
Unanimous?
That word does it's just like when
14 people.
Steph Curry won the MVP.
Come on, man. Unanimous?
That's what.
But you gotta realize, we live in a state where 10 to 2 gets you convicted for a felony.
Preach.
It's supposed to be unanimously.
Preach.
Wow. All right, fellas.
There you go.
10 to 2. A 10 to 2 vote gets you convicted of a felony, and however y'all said it, unanimously. All right? That gets you convicted. Well, that's the same thing happened to this kid today. He got convicted for something he didn't even do nothing wrong. Because another school didn't want him to play for this school.
Right.
And you got to understand one thing. And G-Sportz, you always know me not to bite my tongue. When you come to a Catholic school, when you can go 0-10 and still make it to the playoffs, something is entirely wrong.
Right.
Preach.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Preach.
It's a money racket. It's a money racket.
When you can have a kid, I ain't gonna put the kid name out there, but when you can have a kid play for 4 different high schools, 4 different years,
what?
And all 4 of them are losing teams, and nobody
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
nobody, come on now. So something is, either they didn't want to go along with whatever they wanted, and they got blackballed.
That's what it is.
Welcome to our world.
Right.
You know, welcome to our world. Now you're starting to see, you know, dogs, they start to eat each other. And when that starts to happen, problems going to occur.
Right.
You know, and G-Spot, I want to thank you, bro. You know, you got me live like this here. I want to thank you for all the support. You know, because I can tell any parent right now, see that recruiting process? I was involved in my recruiting process from the highway.
Right.
I was on the road driving the country, catching planes from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and getting on buses in Akron, Ohio, to get here to make sure that he's able to, you know, go visit these schools and see which one is going to fit him.
Right.
You know, and I'm here to tell you, I think A.Robison made one of the best decisions of his life.
Right.
By going to La Tech.
Right.
You know,
look, Arthur, a lot of people question him passing up LSU, Texas, and a lot of big programs to go to La Tech.
Let me tell you something.
Freshman All-American.
Let me tell you something, D-Spot. D-Spot. His daddy questioned it. I'm going to tell y'all straight up. With me, I'm looking at, look, y'all got to understand one thing. I'm seeing financial parts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm seeing $200,000 scholarship. That's what I saw. This is what I saw in writing for him to sign. Right? Now, La Tech is like 100 and something, you know, which was great because that was a tax write-off. That was a tax break for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was great. You know, but the thing was is that they showed him so much love. Now, I'm going to tell the world. A.Robison got rolled off at one time. Yeah. When my baby had that torn ACL, when they didn't think that he was going to make it to his senior season, a lot of people backed up. You know, they backed up on my baby, dog, and it hurted him.
Right.
It hurted me to see him go through that. But you know something? We got on our knees, and we prayed to the good Lord above, and whatever he had for my son, he was going to get it regardless.
Right.
And now we want to talk about injury, right? Most ACL tears, like his was, takes a year to come back, right? Most likely. Some people will never come back. Think about it.
Right.
Because they're too scared of the pain.
Right.
They're too afraid. Well, we thought about that. We talked about that. And I told my son, I said, if you want to pursue this dream, you can't be afraid. If you believe that God healed you, you healed, and you go out there, you play your game.
Right.
You go do your thing. Well, February, right? It's the second month in the year, right?
Right.
We all know. It never changed. It should be like that all over this country, right? in July, right? It's the 7th month in the year, right?
Right.
Everywhere in this country. Well, A.Robison left hospital Tulane, Oxnard, in New Orleans, straight from now, and went straight to Baton Rouge to LSU Camp.
I remember that.
Rolled the whole weekend.
I remember that.
All right, now we're going to fast forward to the season. Meek had 2,000. If I think of him right, Meek had 24 touchdowns for sure. And he scored from every facet of the game, from quarterback to wide receiver to punt returner to kickoff returner to running back. And if you do the math, that's over 2,000 yards.
Right.
Louisiana didn't even talk about that.
Right.
But we hearing it now.
Right.
I witnessed it.
Right.
I witnessed it. And then it goes off to college early. Because I told him, hey, man, once you finish here, let's go do your thing. You ain't nothing here. Ain't nothing here for you but trouble. Go to school. Go get ready. Go read the playbook. Go get some game film and start your books early so you can graduate early.
Right.
And he followed that. Now, what did that produce? Making an honor roll in college. For all you kids out there that are listening, honor roll in college. All right? A freshman All-American season.
Yeah.
Right? One of the top, Yeah, in my mind, that's my son, and I got to say it. I think you one of the best out there.
Oh yeah.
In my mind.
Ain't no doubt.
It's just me, but hey, I got to believe it. You know, if nobody else believes it, I'm gonna believe it.
Anybody gonna believe in it? Daddy gotta believe in it.
Ain't no doubt about that.
No doubt about that.
You know, so and I gotta give it up to Pooper Williams. The boys nasty. Him and Meek played together. They best the boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That boy, that kid out of that's playing for Washington State. Him and Meek competed against each other. That's how I knew.
Yeah.
That's how I knew Meek could play guard. When you can stop that kid, you're a beast.
Yeah. Yeah.
That boy's a beast.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Don't run up there and think. Don't let no average quarterback go up there and think he's not gonna snatch on you, because he will.
Right.
He's tripping. You know, I went to a banquet with him one time. You know, it's his mom players or whatever, and it hurted me. But he instead of him going out into the streets, messing with drugs, he channeled that energy into his crowd.
Right.
You know, and that was very smart of him, because I grew up without parents, so I had to figure. I didn't know how to channel my bad energy.
Right.
And I wound up in jail and in trouble and all kind of stuff. So all you kids out there, if you're growing up like that, say, bro, whenever you do good, you challenge that negative energy into that so to turn into positive energy. Yeah, that's what I got to say.
Man, Arthur, man, I appreciate you for calling in, man. Hey,
be safe on that road.
Be safe on that road. And I know you gonna be in the building in Death Valley next weekend while La Tech take the field against LSU.
You know, hey man, I went to the Dolphins for God. The only way I'm been there is God come get me. You know, and I ain't got no choice but to go there. We talking about Justin Jefferson and Amik Robinson.
You remember that? You remember that?
You remember? Yeah, you remember. He beat up one time and he didn't like that.
I remember that. Hey, look,
didn't like that.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be box office.
I'm only speaking for me. I'm not speaking for me. I'm speaking for me because I'm a fan of my kid and I'm a fan of Justin. He's nasty. You know, he's pretty good. You know, and I'm a fan of these kids. I just like the competition because I'm a competitive type guy myself.
Right.
You gotta have that competitive nature to even play sports. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see that matchup. Yeah. I want to see because you know these fellas, you know they love ball. Me couldn't handle him, and he beat me that time, and that's a hand game.
Yeah.
You know, he caught that first touchdown, and he ain't catch no more after that.
Yeah.
So I guess this gonna be a continuation from that.
Yeah. Part 2 of the rivalry.
Part two of rivals, man. Part 2. And you guys, you know, y'all keep bringing it to the community, bro. Y'all keep putting y'all heads together like black men supposed to do. And y'all keep it coming for these young kids, bro, because they need y'all.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, cut up out there in Baton Rouge next weekend, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Oh, you know, hey, I got a Mick Robinson jersey, one of only 2 around here, so it's going down.
All right, man. Love you, bro.
All right, love y'all too, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right. That's Mick Robinson daddy, man. Look,
and the callers don't stop. We got another one.
We got another one. Who's the next caller? Who's the next caller?
Caller, you there?
Jonathan Wells, what's happening?
What's happening?
How you doing?
Who that is?
Jay Wells, man. John Curtis, Ohio State Buckeyes.
Jonathan, well, let me tell you something, man. I came up under you, and I ain't trying to boost your ego or nothing like that, but I'm going to tell you, man, as a kid, man, I looked up to you when I saw you playing on Friday Night Football, because, you know, back then it wasn't social media. Friday Night Football, when I saw you running that ball for John Curtis, man, I thought you was going to be the Adrian Peterson, the Jim Brown of the NFL, man. You put on during high school, man. And look, man, when I saw you comment the other day on my Facebook post, man, I was like, man, I used to look up to this dude. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate the love, homie. It's all love. You know that.
Yeah. Appreciate you for calling in, man. Look. Let everybody know, man. How you feeling? I saw you being very controversial on social media, man.
You was speaking.
Let everybody know your take right now or what's going on, man.
It's more with the Urban Meyer situation.
With the Urban Meyer situation, man.
Listen, man. You know, everybody got their own opinion. I get it. But listen, a lot of people leaving out a lot of facts, my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all,
we're not talking about this female and her wrong side. Ohio State took the high road because they didn't put out none of her failures and her flaws, like calling the police 30, 40, 50 times, and these people not finding nothing wrong. You made some false allegations against this man. Come on, bro. Like it ain't just what she say. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody mad at Urban. Urban ain't beat nobody up. Urban didn't beat Shelly Meyer up his last time I checked, right?
Right.
That we know.
Why everybody so mad at Urban? Nobody talking about Zach Smith. Nobody talking about none of that. Everybody mad at Urban. Why is everybody mad at Urban Meyer?
So let me ask you this, Jonathan. The bruises, the pictures, do you think that was made up, or do you think that he actually?
Okay, let me ask you this: the police came. What happened? Why wasn't no charges filed, bro?
That's a good question.
So you sound like to me we need to be mad at the police department. If they didn't came to this woman's house 30, 40 times and nothing ever happened, sound like to me something not adding up, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Man, look, the man beat his wife when he was in Florida with her.
First of all, no charges filed again. He was an intern. No charges filed again.
Graduate
We're talking
assistant.
about charges or accusations. Listen, we can't start getting people. You cannot make people guilty by accusations, bro. We need facts behind this stuff. That's the problem.
This not an accusation. Shelly Meyer came out her mouth and said that after the situation that happened in Florida, she brought them in to her Urban Meyer house. They had counseling with it, so it would never happen again. That's not accusation. That's out the horse's mouth.
They're still, where are the charges? And my point is this. Okay, why are you staying with him? Let's talk about what.
Come on. Now, Jonathan, hold on. Let me say it. Let me say it. Now, I know personally, I know women that get their ass beat and stay with the man, and then they change their story because they so in love with the man and they don't want to lose him.
I don't give you no pass for that on my end. I went through this in my household, family, and I don't give my mama no pass. I don't give my 10-year-old daughter no pass. Don't come here a year later, 3 years later, telling me about what supposedly happened. I don't want to hear it. If somebody beats you, handle that right now. That's my move.
So when the situation that happened in 2009, now Urban Meyer came out and acknowledged that
all this happened.
That this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is, something happened. Happened.
No. Urban Meyer said when it happened, he left it to the police to get the facts. And when it came back to him, what was reported was not what happened. I watched the interview again this morning. He said when it came back to him, what was reported did not happen.
At Ohio State. I'm talking about the situation in 2009 in Florida.
I'm talking about Florida. Me too. I'm talking about Florida.
We must have heard two different things then.
Now here's my question. Now.
Yep.
If none of these situations or allegations or so there's no charges, if something is this untrue, then why is Zach Smith not a part of the staff at Ohio State? Why doesn't he just have a job? Why is he not employed?
Because all of the stuff that you guys wanted to go and talk about, he's taking a picture at the White House and all. All this stuff came out after the investigation. You think Urban Meyer knew about this man taking pictures at the White House and all this foolishness? You think this man knew this?
The bottom line is
the man had. This is my thing. Zach Smith has been having consistent behavior of negligence. Like that's my thing. Like dude been reckless.
But what I'm saying is you can't say that. What I'm saying is all of these stuff that's just coming out now. Like you think Urban Meyer really knew about this? Him taking a picture of the White House? I don't think he knew about none of that until they dug deep.
I think
all of this stuff.
I think this. I think when you one of the most prominent coaches in all of college football, your job is to know what's going on your staff and with your players. And I refuse to believe. Like I say, do I think he knew every detail? No, I don't. But I think he knew some sort of what the hell Zach Smith was doing. I mean, the dude been reckless since 2009.
Okay, that's fair. So they gave him a 3-game suspension, but that's not enough. Why is that not enough? Because number one, he did his job as a coach.
everybody, the people above him who he was supposed to report to, they told him. So what?
Nah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
That's on Gene Smith.
Yeah, that's on Gene Smith right there. Nah, I agree with that.
You want to know, in my opinion, why he got the 3-game suspension? Because they didn't want to deal with this Me Too movement and this female movement that's going on right now. That's the only reason he got suspended at all. Let's be clear.
Look, when you the head coach,
Christopher Garrett says agree.
Everybody who was supposed to know knew.
Nah, man, look, when you the head coach, you responsible for your staff. Period. So you try to tell me this man been with you from 09 and he just get fired at 15 with all this hanging around his head? Why is he still? Why you let him associated with him when your staff is a reflection of you?
Well, and we know the answer to that. He was the only fault I got with every mind. He was overly loyal to this kid because his grandfather was.
Yeah. Now, there you go.
That's it.
Hey, look.
So that's why I'm
But that don't make it right, though.
Hey, look.
Jonathan, that don't make it right. That don't make it right. That don't make it right, though.
That's why I'm cool with the 3 games, though. But that wasn't the reason to get fired. You got to get fired. I heard that.
Look, John.
I'm cool with the 3 games. That's what I'm saying.
Look, John.
Other than that, the only reason he should be fired is if he didn't report this up to the uppers in the university. We clear on that he did that, right?
Yeah.
Look, John. Look,
so what's the other suspension for them? Why should he be gone for a year?
Look. This the thing. This is the thing that nobody wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about. All right. This is just one part of the situation. People forget about the 32 arrests that his players had at the University of Florida. So
can't do that. We can't do that, though.
What you mean? You can't do that? What you mean? If this dude don't win a national championship, he don't have a job as long as he does.
Yeah, and that's real. I believe that. I do believe that.
I don't care how much of a fan, how much you want twisted. That's a legitimate answer.
Yeah.
Look, any other coach that don't have a national championship, have a kid that get 32 players arrested, then has an assistant coach that has domestic violence, allegations or whatever he had from 09 to 15, he's fired. Period. He doesn't even get a chance.
15. Now that's a 6-year difference. Now come on, stop saying like this was happening for the whole 6 years.
Did I say from 09 to 15? There's I said allegations. Did I say those? I said allegations from 09 to 15.
09 to 15, like it was going on the whole time.
We don't know. It's allegations.
Hey, look,
that's the reason why. That's the key word is allegations.
John, let me ask you this. What about at Big Ten Media Day? How he got up there convincingly, like he made me feel like he was telling the truth.
I'm listening.
He made me feel like he was telling the truth. He got up there convincingly talking to like what he was saying was so truthful. See,
that's not what he said.
Shit, man! He called him man.
Come on, man! You let me look at this.
Guys, what he did was he was a good coach. He made a play on words. The guy asked him, were you aware of Zach Smith being arrested in 2015? Zach Smith was not arrested. He wasn't.
So look, if that's the case,
the police report lied then?
So look, Jonathan, why did he come out later and say he apologized
for calling this man a liar?
For lying at Big Ten Media Day? That's his words, not mine.
Out of his mouth.
That's his words, not mine.
That Big Ten Media interview is the reason why he got in the smoke he got into. If he'd have had that say, I don't know all the facts and I'll get back.
He said he was like somebody. They said something. They even used the fact that he takes some kind of medicine and he didn't take his medicine that day.
That's when they got into all. That's when they got into all.
He forgot.
I get all of that. That shit is crazy. I get all of that.
That's what I'm saying. So you gotta feel me. You gotta feel where I'm coming from.
I feel you. That's why I'm feeling you to the point of I'm cool with the 3 games.
No, man, no. Look.
The media.
Jonathan,
you think you should be suspended for lying to the media?
Okay. Look. Now, I'm gonna give you something. G gonna hate this analogy, but it's the facts. All right. If you penalize Rick Pitino for something that his assistant coaches did that he never got caught doing, his assistant coaches got caught doing, he got in trouble for that. Why is the penalty different for Urban Meyer?
I don't know, but we can't say that Rick Pitino's not just a high profile basketball coach as Urban Meyer. I can't answer that. I don't know.
Well, he got as many national championships as Urban Meyer.
That's my point. So that's what I'm saying. I don't have the answer for you. I don't know. And listen, I've been through this before. Remember, Jim Tressel got suspended for a tattoo scandal.
Yeah. No, and look, I ain't agree with that.
And that's something he
lied to NCAA officials.
One time, we got over the hump. Y'all get over it. It's cool.
Look, here the problem is, man.
Get over it.
Here the problem.
Hey, I respect your Buckeye.
This the third coach from your institution that got a dirty damn closet. G. Smith wants to
we gangsters up here. That's what we doing the horseshoe. Get over it.
Man, the only gangsters up there in Ohio State is the goddamn weather. Because you got to be a motherfucker to play in snow. I get it.
Yeah, and speaking of that snow, when y'all SEC boys going to start coming up here in November, we need to get some of this action up here instead of us coming down there every time we got to play.
We play real football down here.
Hey, look. I mean, Oklahoma did come to Columbus last year.
Hey, Baker Mayfield did whoop that ass.
He did come to Columbus last year.
He did it. But I'm talking about he's playing cold weather. I'm not worried about that. I'm talking about y'all in the SEC. Stop bringing up that.
I'm a Michigan fan. Jonathan.
We got to playing 9 degrees for the bowl game.
Jonathan, I'm a Michigan fan. So
we got to stop talking.
You can. I'm just saying. Look, listen. I'm not even trying to debate with you about Ohio State, Michigan, because I know y'all been having our number. But I'm saying I'm a Michigan fan. I'm not an LSU fan, even though I don't root against LSU. But I'm not an LSU fan. I've been a Michigan fan since I've been 8 years old. That's why when you chose to take your talent to Ohio State when I was a kid, I felt some way. I was pissed about it. That's all I'm saying. But
my big dog, listen. Blame Chris Howard. My big dog told me not to go there, so it wasn't even a choice.
Oh, Chris Howard, the running back. Come on, he told you that.
Yeah, you know, that's my John Curtis OG.
Now see, Chris Howard is he needs to be stripped of all his accreditation and his everything from Michigan because I can't believe he told you that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't gonna have no effect anyway because I was a Buckeye from 10th grade on. I never changed my mind about that. I just wanted to go there. When I saw Eddie George, that was a done deal.
There it is.
It was that simple. It was no coming off it. Not one time going there. Period.
Man, Jonathan, man, look, man, I appreciate you calling in, bro. Hey, you gotta, man, look, that's what we do on FanView, man. We like to engage and talk about different topics and
even when you're wrong,
man. Hey, look, your John Curtis Patriots, they looking real good this year. I see they.
I ain't buying in yet, bro. It's been 5 years. I'm having withdrawals. I'm about to come down there in a couple weeks. I'm not even understanding what's going on with these guys right now. I'm about to checkmate everything around them.
Look. That's what I'm glad you brought that up, G. Is this the year?
I don't know.
That Curtis,
I don't know.
Hey, look.
That ain't like me to talk. That ain't like me to talk like that.
I'm just saying that. Hey, look, that team. They got a team in Baton Rouge. that you know what I'm saying?
Lord.
That looking kind of undefeatable right about that.
Cali Baton Rouge.
Cali. You high. As a folks.
You high. They got some dirty last year.
You high.
That's who beat us in state.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And look, and the crazy thing about it was they last year they overachieved. All that whole team is back. That whole team is back.
Yeah, but when I talked to JT told me fumble the ball going on the 1 yard line. That was self-inflicted. I'm not worried about the people.
Man, you see that score?
Jonathan, I covered the game. Listen.
Hey, what fumble don't put up 30 points?
I covered the game. I covered the game. The people was better than y'all.
Hey,
but look, that's cool.
Hey, that Vin starting to go out of style, baby. Maybe need to put a little.
Listen, homie, I just talked to my partner about it. I'm like, boy, I don't know if Jeff Curtis gonna take over down there and put us a 2-lane offense in there. Something gotta give around here, man. Something gotta give.
And that V ain't quite hitting. Hey, look, how Chris Howard came through with it. You came through with it. The Jason Spadoni came through with it.
Yeah.
Hey, look, that V ain't that hole in that V is slowly closing.
Yeah, Chris Jackson was running that option to perfection.
You know what I'm saying? Joe McKnight, rest in peace. You know. thing. Look. He turned the Ville. He turned the Ville to the midline. That's just how special he was. But that Ville ain't hit no more now.
Nah. Yeah, I mean, I can't. You know, like I said, everybody told us we couldn't play in the Catholic League. We still washing them up, so that's all I can live on right now. I can't talk no smack right now besides beating up on the Catholic League. That's it.
John, I got a question for you, man. Before we let you go, you was a highly touted recruit coming out of high school. Like I said, man, I don't want to keep tooting your own horn, but you know, watching you on Friday Night Football was just like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? And you know that you was the epitome of what a high school running back represented in Louisiana. So
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, man. You ain't never forgot. Especially if you are over the age of 30, you know about Jonathan Wells. But
if you don't, you just didn't play football.
Yeah. Hey, you're not related to Beanie Wells, huh?
I hope not.
Nah, that's my little brother. He asked me to wear that 28, but I told him to represent. He did that.
Yeah. But my question is, man, with all the things that's going on with social media and stuff that's going on with the recruiting process, man, it's way different than when you was coming out.
Yeah.
What advice would you have to kids that's coming up, that's like in the 10th, 11th grade, that's trying to go to the right situation, the best fit? Because you know transferring is at an all-time high these days, man. Every time you look at the bottom of the screen, kids transferring. It's like last year was a record of I think it was like 113 transfers. And
wow.
Yeah, it was 113 transfers. My question is, what would your advice be to kids, man, when they going through the recruiting process and trying to pick the best fit for not just for athletics, but educational wise?
I mean, honestly, man, for me, I was really focusing on, man, what is this school going to be able to do for me after I get done playing football? Because at the end of the day, only 1% of them is going to make it to the league anyway. So 99%, you're going to have to figure out what the city like, how can you maximize and make yourself into a business, a corporation, and it's really not about football, but you got to maximize that situation while you're wearing that team's brand and start networking while you in school. Don't wait till you get out of school. You got to network while you hot, man, because once football over, dog, you're done. If you ain't a Hall of Famer, you just a regular dude. Let's be clear. So, you know, I would say, man, really understand what the business side of what the school can bring to you, and then also you just got to go where you love it at, man, where the coaches welcome you, where you have a teammate, and at the end of the day, like you guys say, the coaches can always leave, so don't base your decision just on the coach, because he can be gone the next year. But just about the atmosphere, bro, and what it can do for you after football, that's what you got to look into for a school.
Mr. Well, I got a question for you. Because I don't know why I just got a reminiscent type deal going on tonight. Man, playing in Louisiana, your time, who was some of the other top-notch guys that you was like, that you made sure you kept an eye on around the state? Because, you know, especially back, you know, when you played, it was the South of Louisiana versus the Northern Louisiana, and nobody, you know, nobody never crossed that threshold. Nobody from the North ever talked about anybody from the South. Nobody from the South ever talked about anybody from the North because, well, hell, we all played in the South of Louisiana. We knew where all the talent was. Right. But, you know, now, in today's day and age, when the talent is so spread around the whole state of Louisiana, but, you know, who was them guys while you was playing, when you made it home, when you turned on Friday Night Football, you see Ed Dad on TV, you was like, man, who was you checking out to see what they did?
Well, I know number one, my homie, Michael Burks from Rummel. Straight animal with it down here. Straight animal. Dwayne Woods, that boy from Salmon, straight animal.
Yeah.
What's the boy Eddie Bowe, the boy from I forgot the school.
Landry.
Yeah, bro. So, you know, there was a bunch of dogs, but like when I was a little kid, I grew up looking at Keith James and Booker T. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I went there. I did that. Yeah.
Remember Hatfield? Hatfield was the first person I ever seen wear a visor in high school.
Yeah.
What happened with the De La Salle?
Yeah, he did. But he finished at De La Salle. I don't think he started in the.
But Hatfield was that guy.
For the Cavaliers.
Hatfield was that guy.
Oh, the first guy I seen with a visor that I really like just pay attention, I ain't gonna lie, was Sharon.
Sharon Carey. Hatfield was the first one for me.
Sharon had that visor and running that vid. You see that? I was like, ooh, you can wear the dark visor too. Back then.
Quarterbacks, Derek Joseph was an animal.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So my memory ain't that good. I had to really go back and retract. But them the 4 or 5 that come off the top of the dome, off the top, easy.
Man, Jonathan, man, look, I appreciate you calling in, bro. The passion that you came with on this segment is
Buckeye Nation.
Yeah.
Buckeye Nation.
You cheer for Buckeye?
Listen, fellas, I'm 504 to the bone gristle, but I bleed this scarlet and green. I don't
Hey, look, I respect that.
All I know is with 93% win ratio since 2012, leader Urbanator alone, we in here.
Y'all gonna win a national championship this year?
They got a shot.
You know what? I'm gonna find out who we. Listen, I'm gonna call y'all back in a few weeks. I'm gonna find out who we is after we play TCU. I think it's gonna be a tough game. I'm gonna find out who we is this week. This one I'm gonna really know what we got.
Y'all gonna beat Michigan this year?
Stop.
Oh man, you already know we gonna put something on the track on them guys.
Shea Patterson, man. Hey, Shea Patterson.
I love starting that well, baby.
Shea Patterson gonna have it all for y'all this year. We ain't had a quarterback in a while. Watch out.
Have you seen Haskins? You think I'm worried about this little dude, man?
Hey,
have you seen it?
You
seen the way Haskins, man? I'm not worried about that little dude, man.
Jonathan, man, you very disrespectful.
You see
Listen,
him,
this man is an NFL typical quarterback. Hey, do not be surprised. We got y'all in the big house this year? We in the big house?
No, y'all coming to the shoot.
Damn,
come on to the shoot.
Come to the shoot. You know what? I'm thinking about making that, because I've never been to the shoe. I'm thinking about coming down. I'm thinking about coming down there, man.
Come on down.
I'm coming down.
All
I'm gonna ask you, show me the spots after the game. Show me the spots they hit.
Now, Mr. Wells, is Coach Smith gonna be allowed to the shoe?
Oh Lord.
Who?
Coach Smith, man.
Who he said?
Coach Smith, man.
The wide receiver coach, man. You know, the one that got Michael Thomas right and all that stuff.
You know we gonna have the gangster lurking somewhere.
Cause I know Jim Tressel be. I know Jim Tressel still be in that little Buckeye. Matter of fact,
I went to Tressel House.
Look.
I swear he was always weird.
I gotta ask this question. I'm glad we got you on. God knew something. What the hell is a Buckeye?
He don't know.
It's a poisonous seed. You eat it and you drop dead. That's what it is. A poisonous seed.
So what the hell the mascot is? What the hell is Brutus?
The Brutus, the Buckeye. His head is a poison. It's a big seed. It's like it's a Buckeye. It's a nut. It's a Buckeye. It's a Buckeye.
Y'all probably.
I'm coming down there in a couple of weeks. Look, I'm coming down there in a few weeks. I'm about to shoot the documentary with Curtis, 50-year anniversary.
Come on.
Get with y'all, boys. Get at me, man.
Jonathan, man,
come to the show.
Hey, you gotta promise me, man. You gonna call in or come to the show, man. Whenever you down here, man.
I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna come get with y'all.
We right here on the West Bank in Monroe. Right here in Monroe.
Cruising down the street.
That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. I'm done. That's done.
There it is, man. Hey, appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, fellas, man. Appreciate y'all, bro.
There it is, man.
The great Jonathan Wells.
Oh, man, listen. If you under the age of 30, you're not
gonna. It's over your head. Yeah, it's over your head.
No. If you're 25, you won't know.
No.
Depend on.
Listen. Jonathan Wells graduated like what 2000?
Yeah, but so like I'm saying, so 25, you won't. You know what I'm saying?
25, you don't know who the hell Jonathan Wells is.
Man, like if you 26 to 28, you should know.
I don't think so, though.
Man,
how old? So 2000. So all right. So he was good as 10 through 12. So
he graduated 2000.
98. So like 98. How old are you when you're 25? When you're in 1998? Come on now.
Well, shit,
you ain't gonna remember.
You ain't gonna remember.
You ain't gonna remember.
You're not gonna remember. In 98, I was in 8th grade.
You talking about you?
I was in 8th grade in 98. I remember this. I remember this boy.
You talking about being born 93, 94, maybe 95, give or take. I mean, you're not gonna remember him.
Yeah. Unless you just was
he graduated in 2000.
Unless you just was a football head. I've been watching. Listen, bro. I remember Sharon Carey. I remember Hatfield. I could go back.
Yeah.
Darryl, bro. I just remember so many of the greats.
I remember sitting there at Memphis watching
Elpage, Fred Stamps. Man, I remember they came to Terrebonne in the second round of the playoffs. I think I was like in the 6th or the 7th grade. They came to Terrible on the second round of playoffs. Bro, let me tell you something. People talking about the spread just came about. People running spread back then. LFH at quarterback, Fred Snells at receiver. Man, that was crazy.
Man, shit, fuck that.
I remember seeing that.
Cordell and Reggie.
But see, I don't remember that. Now, when you look at Cordell and Reggie graduated. I don't even remember that.
Let's see. So Cordell's at Colorado in 90.
I remember in college.
97. So he had to graduate like 95. 95. They had to graduate like 95, 96.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, Reggie. Oh my God.
Yeah, when you talking about back then, them kids not gonna remember that.
Yeah. But
they gotta go YouTube that.
But Jonathan Wells, bro, was
that guy.
One of the most premier running backs to ever come through this state. I remember watching him. You know, like I said, he didn't have social media back then. All you could go over is Friday Night Football, bro. The dude was a creative player.
He looked like he had a horse collar on and he ain't have no damn horse collar.
Creative player. He's a creative player. And that passion he was talking with just now, that's how he used to run that ball. That's how he used to run that ball.
Jonathan Wells, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All the smoke, as young folks say.
Look, I want to apologize. We couldn't get to the Saints. Couldn't get to LSU. I mean, this is a very, very controversial FanView Thursday.
But that's what sports is.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
He started off with a banger.
I'm going to say this to close out.
Where you going to be at this week?
I'm still contemplating FanView for listeners. It's going to be out of John Everett and Destrehan, Madison Prep and Zachary, or Terrible and Assumption. It's a lot of them three. I'm kind of leaning toward John Everett and Destrehan. That's what I'm kind of leaning toward. I'm going to see.
It's going to end up being Terrible, folks.
Nah, I don't know. We don't know. I don't know. It might. I'm really leaning toward Destrehan and John Everett. I think that's going to be a great game. It's right there at West Jeff Stadium. But I just want to say this. LSU, I do think they got a real good shot to beat Auburn. If they can keep Stedman under control.
Who the hell? Stedman?
Whatever, how you say his name? Stedman for the quarterback for Auburn. They can keep him under control. I think LSU has a great chance to win that game. We know LSU defense is going to show up. I think losing Shy Sign is going to be a big deal, but I think Andre Anthony is going to fill that void and be able to give them some kind of pass rush. I think Joe Burrow gets more comfortable this week, and they put up at least 21 points, and I think LSU can keep Auburn offense under 21 points. So I think LSU has a great chance to win this game on Saturday. For the Saints, we gave a 48 points. It is what it is. I blame a lot of this on Dennis Allen. I think we have the personnel to be a good defense. I think you see us move forward and be good. I think we win this game against the Browns 35-17.
Ooh. Well, listen, LSU to me right now, if they long they can spread out the football and get the football out to their playmakers and don't try to be a predominantly running football team, I think they got a shot at beating Auburn. This game is well within reach. I think they can very much win this game. I think they can probably win about maybe 10 points. But they got to get their offensive going. For the first two showings, we have not seen the offensive for us receiving-wise that we've been talking about up to the season coming up. But Joe Burrows has not been overly bad. He just needs to get more comfortable in the offense. Saints, thank for everybody for tuning in FanView when we stream the game each and every Sunday. It was abysmal. It was bad. It was bad all the way around from getting no pass rush. The linebacking core wasn't up to par, and the secondary just gave up big plays over and over and over. I like to see something different going against the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns ain't that horrible. They just had a tie against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but got to keep Tyrod Taylor in the pocket for all means. Pocket Ryan Fitzpatrick, like a Hall of Fame out there last week. And for people who know me, I love sports. Shout out to the Seattle Storm last night for winning the WNBA championship. This is the third championship in 16 years. Give out to Sue Bird, Breanna Stewart, Natasha Howard. They had an excellent game last night. Shout out to the WNBA and Seattle Storm.
Oh, well, Meek will be taking they talents across the border. We play in McComb, Mississippi. So we'll be doing that. As far as LSU, I believe LSU has the better front seven. With Chase going down, It's a big hurt, but you know there's so many more people in the saddle. Andre Anthony, Michael Divinity. You know what I'm saying? It's so many more people in the saddle that's ready to go.
He's off suspension this week.
Yeah, he's off suspension this week, and I think the offense will open up a little more. People forget that Joe Burrow, came in late, didn't get all the first team reps, so the whole offense, the offense is behind. Starting to open up a little more.
Right.
Saints, Dennis Allen, look. Start the right fucking linebackers. Put Demario Davis ass in the fucking middle. As it on the outside.
Why you had Demario Davis at the wheel?
Why the hell Craig Robinson ain't playing? Shit.
What the hell?
What you thinking? We got two of the best damn blitzing linebackers.
We had no pass rush.
One who blitzed from the outside, one who blitzed from the inside. Very damn good, but you got Demario Davis, big ass start on the outside. You got Anzalone being Anzalone and Craig Robinson to sit on the sideline eating fucking nachos and shit.
Yeah.
And we give up fucking 48 points and fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick outrushed goddamn Alvin Kamara. Man, fix this shit. Coach Hurricane here.
Listen, as I show guys, listen. Everybody tune in. Y'all know how we do each and every Sunday. FanView goes live. The Saints and the Browns. Y'all stay tuned in. Y'all follow GSportz on Twitter. Follow GSportz on Facebook. Gonna be at one of the games. Y'all trying to get some coverage, get some highlights. That's the guy, Coach Hurricane Hen. It's gonna be in Macomb, Mississippi.
Hey, Anthony Rutherford said next week they tailgate for homecoming, fried fish, jambalaya, and potato salad. Somebody bring their plate.
Bring your boy, holler at your boy. That's our show, guys. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports.
Happy birthday, AJ. What's up, man? Turned 5 today, man.
There it is.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Y'all tune in.
Yeah.